Hey y'all, welcome to Broken Buddha. Monk Joseph here. I want to cover breathing now. Meditation class number two. We're gonna do some breathing. There's really only two main types of breathing: regular Buddhist breathing, reverse Taoist breathing. But before I get into that, I want to talk about sealing the vase. Nobody ever talks about this, and it's very important. Sealing the vase, the top and the bottom. The bottom of the vase is your pelvic floor muscles, and typically for regular breathing, you'll squeeze them when you breathe out, and for reverse breathing, you kind of well, in the Buddhist breathing, when you breathe out, you squeeze, and when you breathe in, you actually let your pelvic floor muscles expand lightly, typically speaking. And then reverse breathing, you contract everything in the out breath, and then let everything relax and sink on the down breath or the out breath. But you don't let your pelvic floor expand like you would for some Buddhist breathing. So the vase is your lower pleural cavity, okay? And depending on what you're doing, there are times where you'll keep your pelvic floor closed and your rib cage closed. And what I mean is, I'm gonna take my shirt off for this. What I mean is, if you're doing, we'll just pretend you're sitting. If you're doing reverse breathing like this, that's wrong. You want your vase closed, which means your rib cage should not be coming up. That's the top of your vase. So keep your ribs closed and now breathe into your chest. All right. And that time I was keeping the top and bottom of the vase closed. So anytime you're really trying to build energy, you want to keep both closed. You can let off the pelvic floor muscles slightly when you're doing Buddhist breathing and breathing in, and you can relax, but do not let them come out or go out or relax further than naturally for the reverse breath. Okay. So for regular breathing, basic level, it's your first day. You're gonna breathe in with your stomach, and then compress in, squeezing your pelvic floor on the out breath. Try not to get too much air trapped here or too much blood pressure trapped here in what's called your middle burner in traditional Chinese medicine, because that can actually cause paranoia and other discomforts. So you typically just want this cavity expanding, like pretty much a little bit less than solar plexus or solar plexus down. Okay. Working your pelvic floor muscles will take time. I spent a long time doing 100 breaths for regular and reverse breathing. I've mentioned other videos. You may wet yourself a little bit if you're really pushing the practice, but totally normal. Again, just like the cross leg, everybody's done it and experienced it, so don't worry about it. All right, so that covers regular breathing. Reverse breathing is more like this. You're going to pull up into the rib cage and then push the stomach out, but you're pulling in bioelectric function and then packing it is what you're actually doing. And that's why you have. And I'm not saying you should never expand your rib cage. There's going to be times where you're meditating and you need to expand your rib cage to get some type of energy substitution to that area out of like discomfort or something like that. Totally understandable, but just much like when you're doing regular breathing and you do 3 breaths to just get some bioelectric function and oxygen up to the upper pleural cavity and then go back down to collecting in the lower pleural cavity. Um, yeah, it's the same thing. So, all right. So, again, your regular breathing is here. I'm watching to make sure I'm doing a good demo. Right. Then your reverse breathing is going to be more like here. Right. And if you notice, with the upper vase closed, your back expands out, and that is key to a lot of your healing or harming techniques. Being able to get the chi properly out to the arms by keeping the vase closed is pretty key and important. Um, so yeah, that's everything. Sealing the vase. If you ever hear that, that's what they're talking about. If you're trying to build a lot of energy, and you can handle it, then focus on keeping the vase as tight as you can. There's going to be let ups here and there for many different reasons, but try to keep the pelvic floor tight. Try to keep the rib cage closed. Um, if you're a beginner, do not worry so much about the vase. You can know that it's there, but don't like make it your focus. I want you to just focus on either breathing into your stomach or breathing into your chest. If you're a beginner, you should be breathing into your stomach for like, I think it would be, I can't say this definitively, but it'd probably be like 100 days, maybe 6 months. Um, any amount of time with regular breathing or Buddhist breathing is going to be better. You can start with the Taoist breathing, but that's a high energy charge. And I've seen groups that push only reverse breathing on their practitioners before, and they end up with some star players, but the majority of their people don't do well. Physical health, mental health, all of it tanks when I see people start with reverse breath and beyond. I mean, I've seen some of the most atrocious life events I've ever seen coming out of some of the people in those groups that are only doing reverse breathing. And I've experienced the negatives of not being trained how to reverse breathe myself. So it is there. And just always remember, have your tongue to your palate, guys. I can't stress that enough. The little fleshy half ball behind your teeth. If you're having a hard time identifying it or thinking that it's working, then just press your tongue directly against the back of your upper two front teeth. All right. So that covers everything breathing. There's actually like 12 or 13 styles of breathing, but this is all that you need to know until you get into a specialized group that will take you further than that. Um, yeah, but this is definitely a key aspect. The next video will be on standing, and we'll cover a more advanced closing to your meditations, be it sitting or standing at that time. Thanks for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed the information. Peace and blessings.